today we will discuss about the lumbar plexus. You have got some of the branches of lumbar plexus during inferior extremity dissection. Femoral nerve, obturator nerve you have got. Okay, so other nerves we will discuss here. I will get other nerves of lumbar plexus during abdomen dissection. Okay, so lumbosacral plexus, it is formed by, this part is lumbar plexus, here is the sacral plexus. Okay, L1, L2, L3, L4 joining together to form the lumbar plexus. It is getting a tweak sometimes from T12 and sometimes from L5. Okay, and the sacral plexus is formed from L4, L5, S1, S2, S3 up to this level. After that there will be coccygeal plexus. Okay, so we will discuss today the lumbar plexus and its branches. So the anterior divisions of lumbar nerves, sacral nerves and coccygeal nerves together form the lumbosacral plexus, and the first lumbar nerve being frequently joined by a branch from the 12th thoracic here. And for descriptive purpose, we will discuss this into three parts: lumbar plexus, sacral plexus and the pudendal plexus, means mainly the coccygeal plexus. Okay. So lumbar plexus, the spinal nerves L1 to L4 form the basis of the lumbar plexus, and at each vertebral level paired spinal nerves leave the spinal cord via the intervertebral foramina of the vertebral column, and each nerve then divides into anterior and posterior divisions. These are the two roots, anterior root, posterior root. Over the posterior root ganglia is present, and after joining these two roots are joining to form the spinal nerve, and each nerve is dividing into anterior and posterior rami, and lumbar plexus begins as the anterior fibers of the spinal nerve of L1, L2, L3 and L4. Root values are important. So anterior rami of these four spinal nerves. Okay. Here is the formation L1, L2, L3 and L4 joining together to form the lumbar plexus. Okay. And these are the main branches of the lumbar plexus: iliohypogastric nerve, ilioinguinal nerve. Both root value is L1. You will get these two nerves during inguinal region dissection. Okay. Next is genitofemoral nerve. Genitofemoral nerve, it divides into two branches: genital branch and femoral branch. Femoral branch is content of the femoral sheath, and genital branch passes through the inguinal canal along with the other contents. Next is the lateral femoral cutaneous nerve. It passes near the anterior superior iliac spine and supplies lateral aspect of the thigh. Next is femoral nerve. It is a large nerve of the lower extremity, divides into two branches and other divisions. You have got obturator nerve. So all these nerves are branched from the lumbar plexus. Next we will discuss all these nerves in details, their course, supplying area, like this. Okay. Here green colored one is the iliohypogastric nerve. It passes over the upper border of the psoas major, then crosses the front of the quadratus lumborum. Then it passes across the iliac crest, lying between these two muscles. In between, neurovascular plane of abdomen lies between these two muscles, internal oblique and transversus abdominis. And then it divides into, after piercing these muscles, it passes more anteriorly, divides into two cutaneous branch, anterior cutaneous and lateral cutaneous branch, and supplies the skin. Here is the course, you can see. This is ilioinguinal nerve. Okay. The lumbar plexus is embedded within the psoas major muscle. Okay. So this is psoas major muscle. This nerve is coming out from the lateral margin of the psoas major. Then it is lying over the quadratus lumborum. This muscle is quadratus lumborum. Lying over the quadratus lumborum, then it passes up to the iliac crest in between the two muscles, transversus abdominis and internal oblique. Then it is piercing the muscle and being cutaneous by dividing into two cutaneous branches, anterior and lateral cutaneous branches. Okay, so this is the course of ilioinguinal nerve. Okay, and these are the supplying area. It supplies the internal oblique, external oblique, transversus abdominis, the suprapubic skin, and posterolateral gluteal skin. Okay, so these are the sensory innervation and motor innervation supplying these muscles. Transversus abdominis, internal oblique, and the conjoint tendon. Conjoint tendon was formed by joining of these two muscles. And what will be the clinical significance in case of injury to this nerve? There will be burning pain in the suprapubic region and the inguinal region. So injection of local anesthesia and physical therapy is given in case of injury. And nerve gets injured due to pelvic injury, during road traffic accident, or during different sports activities, or surgical injuries, and rarely in pregnancy due to compression. Okay, there is hyperdistension of the abdomen and abdominal muscles due to the pregnancy, so there chance of compression of this nerve and injury. And there is rarely a case of isolated iliohypogastric nerve injury, and these two nerves are generally involved together, iliohypogastric nerve and ilioinguinal nerve. Okay. Next, we are going to ilioinguinal nerve. Root value is L1. These two root values are very important, very frequently asked in your Viva and MCQ. Okay. Previous one was iliohypogastric nerve. This one ilioinguinal nerve. Both root value is L1. Okay. This also comes out from the lateral border of the psoas major, crosses the quadratus lumborum, then passes over the iliacus muscle in the iliac fossa. Then it lies between these two muscles, transversus abdominis, internal oblique, then enters the inguinal canal through its roof, okay, ilioinguinal nerve. And then it passes through the inguinal canal, comes out through the superficial inguinal ring, and it lies along with spermatic cord in males, along with round ligament of uterus in females. These are the contents of the inguinal canal. Okay, see here, this is the course. This one is iliohypogastric nerve. Okay, this is ilioinguinal nerve. Here is the ilioinguinal nerve, and this is genitofemoral nerve. Genitofemoral nerve mainly lies plastered over the psoas major. Okay, and this one is ilioinguinal nerve coming from the lateral aspect of psoas major, lying over the quadratus lumborum. This one quadratus lumborum. Then it is crossing the iliac crest, and here it is lying over the iliacus muscle. Okay. Then it will pass through the two muscles, transversus abdominis, internal oblique, enter into the inguinal canal. This area is the inguinal canal. Enter into the inguinal canal by piercing the roof, and so this is partial content of the inguinal canal. Then it passes in through the inguinal canal and comes out through the superficial inguinal ring. Here is the superficial inguinal ring. Okay, understood? So this is the course of the ilioinguinal nerve. And this is the supplying area of the ilioinguinal nerve, near the groin mainly and upper medial aspect of the thigh. And this is supplying area of the genitofemoral nerve. So this is the innervation, sensory innervation from the ilioinguinal nerve, skin of the superomedial aspect of the thigh and the groin region. And in male, anterior 1/3 of the scrotum and root of penis, and in females, anterior 1/3 of the labia majora and root of clitoris. And motor innervations is given to these two muscles, transversus abdominis and internal oblique. What will be the clinical significance? This nerve can get damaged through surgery or injury to the abdominal wall, and this will lead to weakness of these two muscles, transversus abdominis and internal oblique. And inguinal hernia stretches this nerve, and there will be pain at this supplying area. And the nerve entrapment, in case of nerve entrapment due to hernia or other abnormalities, you have to give physical therapy or manual therapy. And inguinodynia, it is chronic pain in the groin region due to involvement of this ilioinguinal nerve. Okay, so you have to know the sensory innervation. So for this clinical significance, where you will get the pain, you will get pain patients of these symptoms. Next, we are going to the genitofemoral nerve. Here root value is L1 and L2, the green colored one. Here it is being formed. L1 and L2 roots are present in the genitofemoral nerve. So it also comes out from the lateral border of the psoas major, then passes in some part over the anterior surface of the psoas major. Then it divides into two branches, genital branch and femoral branch. They passes downward and medially in the deep inguinal ring. This genital branch passes into the deep inguinal ring. Femoral branch passes through the femoral canal, okay, femoral sheath, femoral lateral compartment of the femoral sheath. And this genital branch then passes through the inguinal canal. Okay, in males, it supplies the cremasteric muscles and scrotal skin and anterior layer of the femoral sheath, fossa lata, skin of upper anterior thigh. It is supplied by the femoral branch. Okay, and in females, the genital branch supplies the round ligament of the uterus and the skin of mons pubis and the labia majora. Okay. See here, this pink colored portion, it is supplied by the ilioinguinal nerve, and this green colored portion, it is supplied by the genitofemoral nerve. Here it is coming out from the anterolateral aspect of the psoas major, then lying over the psoas major, then dividing into two branches. This is a femoral branch passing through the femoral sheath, supplying this area, and genital branch entering into the inguinal canal and going to supply the near the groin or in the genital area. Okay. So motor and sensory innervation, the femoral branch is exclusively sensory in nature, while the genital branch is both sensory and motor. Okay. Genitofemoral neuralgia occurs in case of involvement of this nerve. There will be lower abdomen and pelvic pain, and kinetic exercises. These are the treatment protocol, includes the kinetic exercises, different movements of the hip region or lower part of the abdomen. Okay. Next, we are going to the next branch is lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. See, it is having L2 and L3. L2 and L3 roots lying in lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. It passes from lateral border of psoas major and iliacus muscle obliquely, crosses the iliacus muscle obliquely, then reaches the anterior superior iliac spine, then it pierces the muscle through the lacuna musculorum, crosses the sartorius muscle, divides into these branches, anterior branch and posterior branch. Anterior branch going towards the knee joint, posterior branch is supplying the fossa lata and supplies the lateral and posterior surface of the thigh. Okay, so this is the supplying area of lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. Here this one is lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. It is passing near the anterior superior iliac spine, entering into the thigh here. Okay. If you want to anesthetize this nerve, you have to push the injection near the anterior superior iliac spine. Okay. And then it is dividing into two branches, anterior posterior branch, and going to supply the supplying areas. What will be the clinical significance? In case of involvement of this nerve, there will be meralgia paresthetica. Okay, this is given in your theory question, meralgia paresthetica. Okay, it leads to numbness, tingling, sometimes pain in the outer thigh, and these are the treatment for this compression. You have to include exercises, heat application, and trigger point therapy. Okay, this is the treatment of meralgia paresthetica. It occurs due to compression of this lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Next, we are going to the obturator nerve. it is having roots from the L2, L3 and L4. It comes out from medial border of the psoas major. All of the branches of the lumbar plexus coming out from lateral border. This nerve you identify as it is coming out from medial border of the psoas major. You have to identify from this point during dissection of the posterior abdominal wall. Okay, you have to identify the femoral nerve, obturator nerve. It lies medial to the psoas major. Then it is crosses the pelvic brim. Pelvic brim means inlet of the pelvis. Then passes downward and forward on the lateral wall of the pelvis and passes through the upper part of the obturator foramen, through the obturator canal. Then it divides into anterior branch and posterior branch and supplies the adductor muscles of the thigh in the medial compartment. Here you can see the course. Here it is forming L2, L3, L4 roots. Then it is coming out from medial side of the psoas major, crossing the pelvic brim here and then passes downward and dividing into two branches, anterior and posterior branch. And here it is passing through the obturator canal along the upper margin of the obturator foramen, okay, and supplying the adductor group of muscles. These are the clinical significance. Injury of the obturator nerve. Obturator nerve may be injured in anterior dislocation of the hip joint or during radical retropubic prostatectomy. Okay, in case of prostate cancer or benign prostatic hypertrophy, prostatectomy have to be done. And the following are the characteristic features. There will be motor loss, loss of adduction of the thigh due to paralysis of adductor muscles of the thigh. It was supplying the adductor muscles. A sensory loss will be on the medial aspect of the thigh due to involvement of the cutaneous branch of anterior division of the obturator nerve. Okay. Next is obturator nerve neuropathy. The syndrome of an obturator nerve entrapment causing the medial thigh pain is described in athletes with large adductor muscles. And surgical division of obturator nerve is needed. It is sometimes done to relieve the spasm of the adductor muscles in spastic paralysis of the nerve. Okay. Next is irritation of the obturator nerve. Inflammation of the ovary causes localized peritonitis in the region of ovarian fossa and which may cause irritation of the obturator nerve. This obturator nerve in close relation with the ovarian fossa. Okay, that's why it leads to irritation of the nerve in case of inflammation, and in such case the pain may be referred to the hip, knee and medial side of the thigh. Next is referred pain in diseases of hip joint. Pain may be referred to the medial side of the thigh. Next we are going to the femoral nerve. Okay. Here also root value is L2, L3 and L4. Okay. For obturator nerve, the roots are coming from the anterior division. For femoral nerve, it is coming from the dorsal division. Okay. And it also comes out from the lateral border of the psoas major and passes downward between the iliacus and psoas major. You have got in between these two muscles in the femoral triangle. Next, it lies behind the inguinal ligament and end 2.5 centimeter below the inguinal ligament by dividing into these two branches, anterior and posterior division. Okay. Here this is the femoral nerve, course of the femoral nerve. So these are the three nerve roots L2, L3, L4 joining to form the femoral nerve. Femoral nerve comes out from the lateral border of the psoas major. Then it is passing downward between iliacus and psoas major and then crossing the inguinal ligament, lying in the floor of the femoral triangle and just 2.5 centimeter below this inguinal ligament dividing into two divisions, anterior and posterior division. They are further giving multiple branches. Okay. So what is the clinical significance in case of injury of the femoral nerve? Femoral nerve neuropathy. Main trunk of femoral nerve is not subject to entrapment neuropathy, but it may be compressed by the retroperitoneal tumors. A localized neuropathy of the femoral nerve may occur in diabetes mellitus, and these will be the clinical features. Wasting and weakness of the thigh extending down along the medial aspect of the leg and the foot. Okay, it was supplying sartorius, all the quadriceps femoris. Okay, so all these muscles will be wasted in case of a compression of this nerve. Next is injury of the femoral nerve. It is rare but may be injured by stab injury, gunshot wounds, or a pelvic fracture. Okay, in this femoral region. And they are following are the clinical features. There will be motor locks, weak flexion of the thigh due to paralysis of iliacus and sartorius, inability to extend the knee due to paralysis of the quadriceps femoris. All these muscles were supplied by this nerve, femoral nerve, and there will be also sensory loss. Sensory loss over the anterior and medial aspect of the thigh due to the involvement of the intermediate and lateral cutaneous nerves of the thigh. And there will be sensory loss on the medial side of the leg and foot up to the ball of the great toe, that is first metatarsophalangeal joint, due to involvement of the saphenous nerve. Okay, so this is sensory loss in femoral nerve injury. Okay, that's all. Any queries from this topic? No queries? So you prepare femoral nerve and obturator nerve neuropathies, these are important. And lumbar plexus you prepare as a short note. Okay, to practice a schematic diagram, you have to know the different branches and their supplying area. Okay, understood? And the root values of all these nerves are important. Root value comes in your Viva, OSPI, and also MCQ. Okay, root value of all the branches, ilioinguinal, iliohypogastric, lateral femoral cutaneous, obturator, femoral, genitofemoral, its two branches. All these are important. And all this nerve you will get during dissection of posterior abdominal wall. Okay. So you today go home and read this plexus, very important plexus for abdomen and inferior extremity. Okay. Okay. Any other queries? Okay, that's all. Thank you.